Blessings and greetings, Vibrillionaire Soul family. Quick reminder, remember to drink water. Drink water throughout the day. Very important to hydrate. Very important to stay grounded. And blessings and greetings, everyone, Vibrillionaire Soul family. I just seen that we weren't live on Facebook, so I'm going to repeat what I just said because I feel it's so important. Remember to stay hydrated. Remember to drink water. This isn't water. This is some organic juice, pressed juice. So this is just water. It's alkaline water, and it's the greatest water that you can get in the world. So if you want to know more, please message me. But let me just tell you, it's so important to stay hydrated. The more quality the water that you drink, the more quality your life. Also, remember to stay grounded. Go out there and take your shoes off and ground. Really ground for life. Hashtag grounding for life. And please spread that hashtag so many people can know about those incredible benefits of grounding, and especially now more than ever connected with Mother Nature, because Mother Nature is feeling this energy and she's willing to bless us with this energy and remind us what is our nature, what is our true nature. So I had a reflection come to me in meditation, and I've shared this before on several videos, but because they were so lengthy, you got to go and watch the whole video to find something in the video. Which there's so much gold, there's so much nuggets, there's so much abundance. If you go to any one of our videos, there's just that's the level of service that we show up with. That it's not because I'm smarter, it's not because I know more. It's the reason why I'm going to share what I'm going to share today. It's because I transcend thought. And when you transcend thought, you access awareness that I haven't heard before. I don't know if somebody else is saying it somewhere else. And if they are, awesome, because we are connected to this same field. So there's going to be people all over the world that are accessing those same thoughts. But it's greater than thoughts. I mean, it's more quality than thoughts. It's realization, because thoughts are like blocks of thought. But realization is like this knowing, like this download, this awareness that just comes through. And most of the time I'm talking, it's that awareness that's just flowing, because I'm not trying to think of what to say. you know so thank you for joining us. And today is a beautiful December 23rd, 2020. Just take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to really acclimate this moment, like really, like merge and become one where you already are in this moment. Be present with all of you. Be conscious more of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I have a question. And like I said, when I speak to you, I'm speaking to myself, because I am unfolding and maturing along with all of you beautiful souls, and I love doing this together. And I want to ask you, do you worship spirit, God, life? Or do you find yourself worshiping more of the identity of the thoughts that you think you are? That is a profound question. Ask yourself that. Am I worshiping like life? Am I worshiping like this profound presence of consciousness? Or do I find myself reacting and obedient to the thoughts I'm thinking? And if you're obedient and reacting to the thoughts you're thinking, then you're only reacting to the identity that you think you are. So that means that we are in the past, in the illusion of the past, or in the dream state of waiting for some future event, some future moment. And if you find yourself there, then you're always going to think that you need something, you need something, you need someone for fulfillment, you need something or someone to feel worthy, you need something or someone to feel life. And the beautiful thing is, you are it right now. And yesterday I shared an instruction on how to go into the meditation practice. And of course, you'll find there's all kinds of different meditation practices and modalities, and everyone is doing, their own version of what they access. And thank you. Thank you for all of you that do the work, that are showing up in the way that you can serve. Bubbles 928, thank you for joining us. Great to see you. One thing I want to ask you is, because I was meditating this morning, and because of all this abundance, I catch myself thinking abundance. And that's okay to envision abundance, but I'm not going to envision abundance neglecting, like, sitting with all of me, being with all of me, because that's the greatest abundance. So as I caught myself like so excited about life, so excited about, waking up and serving and, showing up, as I catch myself in the wanting of the doing, I forgot, or I neglected the space of being. So even this morning, I had to catch myself and bring myself back. So I want to ask you a few questions that you can ask yourself throughout the day or throughout life, because it's so important to really go beyond the space of this limited identity that, we unconsciously came into. We were told who people thought we were by our parents, by our educational system, by society, by our religion, by our government, by all these different facets that it's like a pressure. They put this pressure on that this is who you are, and then we obey because we don't know what we don't know. But the more you mature in consciousness, the more you realize, I'm not the thoughts that I'm thinking. That's just what I'm accessing, that the brain has recorded, like a recorder, just repeating information. So, are you identified with the thoughts of you? Ask yourself, do I identify with the thoughts that I think? Meaning the thoughts of you, like of who you think you are. Do you find yourself identifying with the thought that you think you are? And if so, why? Are you willing to go deeper? Are you willing to dig under the surface of thoughts, of the form, of the construct of putting yourself in a box that this is all you are? Because we were taught to be expert thinkers on what to think. I mean, just think about when we have a conversation. If something doesn't align with our thoughts, we get defensive. We get offended. And it's like only oneself can offend oneself. And how do we offend oneself? By forgetting who we are. By not being true to ourselves and just sharing that beautiful space with ourselves and sitting with ourselves and asking the greatest source within us, who am I? Where am I? Like, am I in the past or in the future? Or am I present? Who am I? Am I the thoughts that, I've been thinking? Am I the thoughts that my parents told me? Am I the thoughts that my partner tells me, my wife or my husband? Am I the thoughts that my children tell me? Am I the thoughts that, my friends tell me? Am I the thoughts that society tells me? Am I the thoughts that the government and factions tell me? Am I the thoughts that I see on TV? Because we are so like susceptible and so sensitive, because we've been looking for happiness outside of ourselves. So where do we look for our thoughts? Outside. If something matches my thoughts, it's like I'm happy. But if something doesn't match my thoughts, or if an experience doesn't match my thoughts, then I'm sad, I'm angry. And this is like this invisible prison of thought that we don't realize that we're in. And so many people are just living superficially on the surface, and that's why so many people are feeling empty no matter what they do. And this is why we love doing what we do. Are you identified with the thoughts as the world you live in? Like what you live in right now. I had a session yesterday, had several sessions, and some of the sessions were based on, like how can you be so happy? How can you be like so optimistic about life when don't you see what's going on? And it's like, I don't identify with what's going on, because I know what's going on is what's coming up to be let go. It's not like our actual reality. I mean, look at any kind of experience you've had where it seemed like the end of the world, it seemed like everything was just going to fall apart. And when you find yourself on the other side, you take that as an amazing lesson to bring forth and to be of service to yourself and others. So this is going to serve its purpose. But yes, some people are going to get offended as I say this because it seems like I don't care. But I care so much that this is why I show up. This is why I'm doing these videos. This is why I'm doing these meditations. This is why I show up as much as possible. This is why I show up for our students. This is why I show up for myself, because I love so much, because I care so much. And I may not love and care what other people think love and care is, but this is my purpose. And my purpose is not to talk about what's going on, all the dualistic, parts of reality and the positive and negative, and try to assert my truth, because that's just my limitation of the truth that I think. So instead of sharing about that, I want to share about how you can come closer to you, how you can be loyal to you, how you can open up trust within you, how you can love you, how you can live the greatest life that you came to live. And amongst the storms, you can thrive. And when you thrive, you exemplify and you mirror and you reflect how others can thrive. That's how we're transforming the world. So, does what someone say or do affect you? And if so, why? Because nobody has that power. And I'm telling you from personal experience, because I used to fight if somebody said something that I didn't like. Because I would say, you know what? I don't talk the talk. I walk the walk. And what this really represented is I was mentally weak, that I spoke with my fists. And this is why so much conflict and so much contrast and so much, so much chaos is being brought up to the surface. Because so many people don't know how to think for themselves, that instead of thinking and going beyond thought to find out who they are, they're fighting. They're fighting with their words. They're fighting with the way they treat themselves and others. So we have really been robbed from the blessing of how to think. And when you really step into this world of how to think, and you take responsibility of the thoughts that you think, and you transcend the thoughts that you think, then you start living from this causal reality, and you start being who you came to be. Instead of just a human doer, you become a human being. Or you don't become, you align with the human being that you were born, designed, and destined to be. And the truth is, you are right now. Do you react more than respond? Do you find yourself reacting throughout the day? Or are you responding more in life? Because reacting is this animalistic nature that we identify with thought. And we're in the past. We're in the animalistic part of the brain. When you respond more, you evolve your consciousness, because you're involving yourself in taking the ability to respond by being conscious, by breathing, by separating yourself from taking things personal and asking yourself, how do I feel? What am I thinking? Why am I thinking the way that I think? And then you respond. Because we're so quick to react that even when we don't realize that we're drunk in reactivity, that when we say something, we're like, why did I say that? I've been there. And I still constantly, process this every day. So I'm not saying this like, to sound better than you. I'm saying this because we're in this journey together. So sometimes I catch myself reacting through the day. And, I'm so blessed that I have my wife that calls me to be accountable, and vice versa. And we ask ourselves, take a breath, just take a breath. And then we go into conversation. And I do that for myself. So take the time to breathe more. Do you eat out of instinct, or are you consciously with your body, soul, and spirit? Are you consciously eating? Are you really conscious of drinking? Are you really taking a conscious drink? For example, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you is one of the most beautiful words that you can say. And even when things don't happen your way, say thank you. When somebody, agitates you, say thank you, even if you need to say it in yourself. If you can't say it out loud, then say it in your consciousness. Say thank you, because they're showing up to remind you that they're not your savior, they're not your crutch, they're not your dependence in life, because you are free in here. And when you start to awaken that, then less and less people will agitate you, less and less circumstances and experience will agitate you, because the freedom is you. You are free right here, right now. You are sovereign. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are perfect. You are divinity itself. So, I was going to go through all these questions, but we're already going on 15 minutes. And I promised myself that I was going to, you know, be more precise and just focused in the videos. So, moving forward, do you find you do things more unconsciously, wondering why you never feel that craving and desire for life? Oh, that's a deep one. Ask yourself that question. I'm going to say it again. Do you find that you do things, remember do instead of be, do you find that you do things more unconsciously, wondering why you never, it feels like you feel that craving and the desire for life? Because that's where a lot of the world is. They're looking for happiness outside of themselves. And I catch myself doing that, you know, in life as well. But when you're conscious and you catch yourself in that mechanism, in that automation, in that repetitive cycle, and you catch yourself and you become conscious, that's a gift in and of itself. Just becoming conscious of the act, not beating yourself up, just saying, wow, I did it again. You know what? Let me bring myself now. Let me bring myself to the now. Let me bring myself back to the now. Let me bring myself back to the now. And the more you practice this practice, the more you're going to realize how skillful you've always been. But we use our skills to be reactive in our world. So what are we experts in? In reactivity. So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. We're just taking actions that are not producing fruit. So no matter how hard we work, no matter how much effort we try to put, we always find ourselves empty. We always find ourselves, like wondering why do I help so many people? Why do I do so much? Why do I love so much? Why do I, like even sacrifice myself and I'm still not happy? And I'm even going to say it, and some of what I'm going to say is going to be activation. So what people call triggers, it's going to activate you, but I'm going to ask you to go beyond what you think you're hearing, because that's being stuck in thought. If I say something and it doesn't align with you and you get offensive or you get defensive, even with your partners, even with your friends, even with your neighbors, even with your community, don't be so caught up in thought that when you hear something, you become reactive because it doesn't jive with you, it doesn't align with you, because you are being boxed in thought. So therefore you are separating yourself from the wholeness of life. So I'm going to invite you that when you feel offensive, when you feel defensive, or when you feel like less than, because then this also affects us to feel more than. So we're in this constant, uh, roller coaster, that when we feel good, we feel more than. When we feel bad, we feel less than, right? So we're in this constant, yin and yang, up and down, right? So I'm going to ask you to really check in with yourself and say, why am I identifying with thought? What am I gaining from this? What is the results that I'm getting? So check in with yourself and be more responsive than reactive. Again, responsibility, it requires being more responsible in your life, the ability to respond, not react in your life. If you're reacting, then you're not being responsible. And I say this with all this love. And it doesn't matter if somebody's responsible with their business or responsible with their bills, they're responsible with all this stuff, that's great. But if they're reactive, then they're ignoring the responsibility of taking care of the bills and taking inventory of their life. Because there's things that we got to pay for inside of ourselves. Meaning we got to take responsibility. Am I putting pressures on other people because I want to feel more validated? Am I putting other people down so I could feel more special? Am I wanting to be right all the time because feeling right is suppressing other people, but at the same time, it's elevating me. Because this is why we have this dualistic nature that one political party is better than the other, and I feel right, so I'm going to put you down. And we're one family. And same thing in religion, same thing in family, same thing in, a conversation amongst friends, a conversation amongst, you know, loving beings. It's like we do this so, like, and this is why we are manifesting this. We've manifested this world. So we're realizing that thought can only get us so far because we're so comfortable, we're so convenient, we're so taken care of as a society. We got, phones that we can communicate anywhere in the world. We got water that we can go, not that I drink tap water, but we can open up our water in our tap. And for people that are dying of thirst all across the world, I mean, there's people that are so, conveniently and comfortable, but it's in our convenience and our comfort that we've forgotten the most important asset and value and substance of our life, which is consciousness, which is you. So start to ask these questions. Do you hesitate to take action on inspiration? Like, are you inspired to do something, but then you hesitate because you're like, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? Even to wear something, right? Or is people going to like this? What about you? Do you like what you're wearing? Do you enjoy what you're doing? Because come from that inspiration, not the inspiration of, I wonder how people are going to take this. I wonder how people are going to hear this. Because if I did that, I wouldn't share these messages. Because I know a lot of the messages that I share gets people to feel uncomfortable because I'm activating myself and I'm activating you so we can step into who we truly are. And that's what we're all here to do. So act more on inspiration of what you feel that you love and you are desiring to do. Of course, obeying the golden rule, not doing unto others what you wouldn't want done unto you. And this is on a conscious level. Like, be conscious of not just, oh, well, I don't think I'll take this offensive because you don't think this is offensive. No, really, like, put yourself in the other person's place and say, if I was to do what I am saying or doing right now, how would I feel? How would I interpret it? How would I experience that? And the more we're conscious of that, the more we're going to create more harmonious relationships within ourselves. Because in the moment you're loving yourself, because in loving others, you're loving you, because you love you, because you're taking the time to check in with you. Very important. And you know what? I'm going to cut this in different sections, and I'm going to put this in different videos because this is so important. These questions are so important. In each video, we're going to go into a deliberate, going deeper into these videos. And this is why we have our courses. This is why we have our classes. Because if you want to know more, we can dive deeper into any of these. Do you find that you try to do or be like someone else, or try to fit in everywhere you go and not trust you to be you? Do you find that you don't trust you to be you, like I said earlier? Thinking about what other people are going to think, wondering how other people are going to react. This is living in defensiveness. This is causing so much stress in acidifying your body that you're poisoning your body with all these thoughts that you're believing that other people are going to act a certain way. But when you step into that, you're going to realize you were overthinking things. And this is why we live with so much overthinking, because we've forgotten how to truly connect with ourselves. That's why I say, do you worship, do you honor, do you love God, the universe, creator, life, spirit? Or are you loving, worshiping, idolizing, being subjected to the thoughts that you're thinking, that you think you are, which are boxes and boxes of invisible prisons of the brain. Talk about mental abuse. This is the source of mental abuse. So if you work with mental abuse, or you know anybody that works with mental abuse, please share this video with them and let them know that we can be of service, because mental abuse has to be addressed at the source of the issue, not at the effectiveness of the issue, but at the source of the issue. This is transformation. This is the solution of life. So, next question. Blessings, Marcelua. Blessings, thank you. Namaste. Thank you for joining us. And if any of you want to have a conversation, you want to come on live, this is what we're here to do. We're here, If you want to come on, Marcelua, if you want to come on, or anybody wants to come on, that is desiring to serve and have, a contribution, whether you're a teacher, you're a coach, you're a mom, you're a dad, whatever. If you want to contribute and you want to have more conscious conversations, this is how we're going to not expand, but really enhance the field of consciousness by having these conversations together, getting on lives, because I don't know everything. I don't. I only know a portion of life, and the more that I surrender to it, the more I realize what I don't know. So, next part is, do you find that you have to go back? And this is for students, this is for people that are studying, even reading, books on enlightenment, books on, the Bible, all these different books, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, the what's the Mormon Bible. Like, I am not here to tell you what religion to believe in, but the books that you're reading, do you find that you have to go back and read a page 2 or 3 times to get more of it? This is why you're in your thinking brain, because it's like you're thinking about your reading, and you're not even present with what you're reading. And that's how we show up in life. So whether you're a student in a college, high school, elementary, we can help you with this. Of course, with the parents' permission, we can help anyone be more intentional, more conscious, more present, and what you read really gets absorbed into your consciousness. And you're not only thinking that that is the truth, you're finding the deeper truths of it, because this is programming. But when you program yourself, you ask questions. You don't believe everything, because even as I say this, don't believe anything I'm saying. Go back and reflect on it. Go back and feel it, because we're so conditioned that if somebody says something, we either believe it or we judge it, right? So the thing about it is, the more you question, and just with observation, with awareness, it's not that you're questioning it that you're not right. It's you're questioning it so you can savor and really chew what you're listening to. And this is really going to awaken the heart. So, are you great just being in full appreciation of life, God, spirit? Or do you have this beautiful moment and then you're so much in your thoughts that you're looking for the next thing? And this is what I see so much in our practice, when so many people start doing the work, and then they're doing the work and they're having these incredible experiences and this incredible illumination, this incredible like reawakening, and just starting to be more of life. And then they start questioning. It's like they find themselves looking for the next best thing instead of reflecting how far they've come. It's like, wow, let me just sit with this, because that is being. Doing is looking for the next best thing. Doing is, trying to do more so you can be more. And of course, in the beginning, that's a process that is important, because that's why we have resistance. That's why we have these turbulent experiences, because they cause us to want something different. But when you start, being more one with you, it's sit with that. Reflect how far you've come. Don't look for the next best thing, because then you're in the head again. The heart is comfortable with just being. Is it that you identify with you as the thoughts you think? And then we come full circle back to this. Everything that I've shared, it's because you identify with the thoughts that you think. If you said yes to the questions, and depending on how many questions you said yes to, is depending how much you get to, and you get the opportunity to really unravel and transform yourself to really be more honorable, trustful, and loving to yourself. So if you would like more assistance and service in this, please reach out to us. This is what we become more experts in, and we become more experts within ourselves each and every day. And the more we become experts within ourselves each and every day, you're gonna get the concentrated version of that we had to go through so many years of troubleshooting, of turbulence, of chaos, to really discover the simplicity of it, because it's really so simple. So if you'd like to know more, and please, as I'm going to upload this to YouTube, please, on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our LinkedIn, well, if you're watching this video, please share this video. And please subscribe to our channel, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, connect with us on LinkedIn, and really, especially LinkedIn, like there's so many leaders that need this information. There's so many leaders that are so stuck in the doing that they forget to be. And I mean, everybody in general, moms and dads, they do so much that they forget to be. Husbands and wives, they do so much that they forget to be. Children forget to be. And it's the simple practice of how we did as children. When we were out in nature, we were with the rock. We were being with the rock. We were being with the stick. Now we have our children so stuck on their iPads, on their tablets, on their phones, on their computers, and they don't even know how to be anymore because they're looking for the next game. They're looking for the next like. They're looking for the next thing. And what are we training our children? What are we programming our children that if you think about it, where are we going to be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now if we're more doers than beers? So please help us get this message out. YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Help us to get 1,000 subscribers. That way we can go live on YouTube wherever we are. We can go live on Facebook. Of course, we always go live on Facebook and Instagram. But please, please, help us, help humanity to remember who they are. Because this is all we're here for. We're not here to talk about the duality of life. If we need to serve and be the mirror for others, of course. But we don't talk about duality out of judgment. We don't talk about duality of one being more right or wrong than the other. We don't talk about duality of focusing on one more than the other. Because we are not just dualistic beings. We are whole beings. This is how we awaken wholeness, oneness, unity within ourselves. And that's how we ripple it out to reawaken unity, oneness, and wholeness in life. So thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day. We'll see you on the next live. Namaste.